There we go. Hello, welcome. And it's Thursday, the 9th of November. It's definitely winter now. It's much more chilly up in Yorkshire. I've had a grotty cold over the weekend. I'm on the mend, but if I sound croaky or have a bit of a cough, excuse me. We're going to do a bit of a winter warmer in that regard, in terms of movements. So I hope you enjoy what we do. Let me get into place. As I say, all the movements will be suitable for people who are seated or standing. So we're going to get started with the first four movements from the 8 strands of Brocade Qigong set. And the first movement is 2 hands hold the sky. Very simple. Hands come around, we turn over, and then we press up and then let the hands fall away. If you keep doing that, because I can see someone else wanting to join, so bear with me. Excuse me as I do that. It's Helen as well. Let me get her in. There we go. Let me see if I can join in as you come in. Hi, Helen, join in. We're just starting. 2 hands hold the sky. Make sure you feel comfortable in your space. So we're just moving very comfortably as we open up, so to speak. If you wish, you could have a very big, long in-breath as we reach up and then just let that breath go on the down. In Tai Chi and Qigong, we think about movements more often than not in terms of an active phase like this one, and then a passive phase as we let go. And that could resonate with your breath as an in-breath, expanding, and then an out-breath as we contract. And that's kind of really what Tai Chi is all about, a series of opposites moving dynamically. And we embody that with our movements. Oh, we've got someone else jumping in. It is Slav, he's made it. Again, just keep going, guys, sorry, as I get people in. And Ellie. Fabulous, we've got a few people. That's jolly good. Let's do this one more time while we get Slav in and Ellie in. Hi, Slav. Hi, Ellie. Jump in. We've just started, so
Sorry.
Just join in. Don't apologise. It's okay. We're going to do the next movement in 8 strands of Brocade, which is imagining that we're drawing a bow and releasing arrows. If you're standing up with me, try to have a bit of a wider stance. We're going to imagine that we're going to draw our bow first of all and release our arrow to the left. As we bring our hands up, have the right hand on the outside to take hold of the bowstring, look to the left, and just smoothly draw the bow. And then release the arrow and just let the right arm extend, and then both hands drop. And then we pick them up again, this time left on the outside with the bowstring, drawing, pulling, releasing, all in one smooth movement. Just as before, we've got this active phase, the draw and the pull, followed by that release or passive phase as we let go. Once again, drawing the bow. You could, if you wish, have a breath in. Fill the lungs, and then as you let the breath go, that's your cue to let the arrow go as well. So we draw the bow with our breath, but we also release the arrow with our breath as we breathe out. So that can have a nice rhythm to it, but don't force things. If you don't want to do the breathing, you don't have to. You can just focus on the movements. I'm going to go once more to both sides. So this is my left side. Don't worry if we've ended up a little bit out of sync. Just go at your own pace, smoothly drawing that bow, getting a sense for this alternation between expansion and then contraction. Okay, third movement out of this little set is part the earth from the sky. It's going to involve a brace against the sky and against the earth, so I want you to have that in mind. Let's start by holding a ball, beach ball size. Make sure you've got some space between you and it. And it's the bottom hand that basically does exactly what we were doing with two hands hold the sky, turning over and pressing up. But then this left hand of mine is pushing down. Don't worry if it's your right hand. Doesn't matter. We bring the hands back together. It's the bottom hand that we're interested in as it comes over the top, turns over, and then it's this opposition. If I turn to the camera, we press like so, and then bring the hands back together. So once again, we've got this active phase as we go for this press and a bit of a brace at the top. And then there's the relaxation. Sung. Lends itself maybe to a big in-breath, a sense of expansion, and then contraction as we let that breath go. Again, that's optional. But if you feel like you'd like to coordinate the breath with the movement, or perhaps a little more correctly, the movement with the breath, then explore that as an option as we just alternate from one dynamic to another. Lovely. I'm going to do one more. Haven't been keeping count. It's a feel thing. Go by feel. So unlike other movement modalities, we tend to keep the body in motion to a certain extent. We don't hold postures for a long time, and that can have its advantages. And sometimes it can have its disadvantages as well. So again, horses for courses. Okay, final movement out of this little set is Wai Zhao. It's a very simple rotation, but again, it lends us this opportunity to really fine-tune those alternations between active and passive, expansion and contraction, in-breath and out-breath. So as I turn to the right and look in that direction, I'm lifting the arms, and then I just turn back to the center and then look to the left and do the same thing. So for the first few movements, it's a very simple focus on just a smooth turn and transition back to where we came from. And we've already got that sense that there's an active phase and then a passive phase. And that's Tai Chi. We could have an in-breath as we turn and an out-breath as we return to the center. In-breath as we turn, and then an out-breath as we return to the center. Again, that's an option. There's not actually as much emphasis on the breath as sometimes people suspect. The most important point is that you feel relaxed. And sometimes if we put too much stress on the breath, we actually achieve the very opposite. So again, if in doubt, focus on the movement first. Let the breath come in of its own accord if it feels right for you. Let's finish there. There you go. First 4 movements of the 8 strands of brocade. Okay, so I'm going to come a little bit closer to the camera so that we do a bit of a kind of winter warmer type thing. So rub hands in circles. It's less about a vigorous rubbing and more almost like a self-massage. You're really tuning into how your hands feel today. But you may be generating some warmth as well. You can turn over and work through the fingers on one hand and up the back of a hand, and then do the same on the other hand. Like so. Once we've kind of got those hands feeling good, which I hope we are, we let them go, and then we have a squeeze up. And we're doing our autumn leaves little movement where we let the hands drop. And then there's a squeeze again. And then a drop and release. Could be an in-breath, then an out-breath. Let's do that one more time. This time on the squeeze, not a big squeeze. We let the palms fall forward as we open the hands and let them fall all the way down to the fingertips, then pick them up again. So if you can really let the hands fall, it's like free fall for the hands and arms, and then they pick up. Again, that's that quality of song, to really let go. Down to your fingertips, or as my teacher used to say, right down to the tips of your fingernails. Down. This time, after the squeeze, the hands drop, but then they turn out and gently press the palms out. Wonderful. One more time for that one. And then our final little set, so to speak, is to imagine that we catch a ball just in front of us, just like so. And a squeeze. And again, a catch of a ball. Really imagine that you do hold a ball momentarily. Lovely. That's nice. Nice winter warmer. Another part of Qigong is sometimes, again, we've done a little bit of self-massage with a hand rub. We could also do an upper limb kind of massage as well. I'm going to come a little bit closer to the camera. In fact, I'll sit down. So pick an arm and kind of hold it out in front of you and take the other hand and place it on top. And then you're going to basically come up to the top of the shoulder. And then you're going to turn that palm over and then come down, ostensibly on the inside. Turn the hand back over. Get the idea? We're kind of coming on the back of the arm up to the shoulders. We turn the palm over and bring that hand back down. We get a massage on the inside. Turn the palm over like so. Hopefully that's quite simple. Again, it's not a vigorous massage in that sense, and we're not pressing deeply. Again, it's just a kind of tracing almost the contours of our limbs, like so. Once we've done that a few times, again, we're not going to count this. We're not going to get pedantic about counting how many times. Again, it's a feel thing. Other arm. And again, we come up, turn the palm over, come back down on the inside, cross the palm and fingers, turn it over, once again, back up, top of the shoulder, around. And once you get the idea, it can be a bit of a smooth kind of flow almost. Coming up and then down on the inside. That's it. In Chinese massage techniques, coming up the outside and down the inside. It's kind of called a yin massage. Again, things get differentiated into yin and yang. And this is kind of a yin massage. It might, again, you might feel the circulation responding, or just that tracing of limbs. I'll do this with my amputated limb after having a shower or a bath, and I might use some body lotion to just kind of do this and get some nice sensation into an area that more often than not is stuck in a socket and generally is forgotten about unless it's complaining or being painful, but trying to get some nice sensation in. There's apparently some evidence that this can really help over a long term with our sense of awareness and help dampen down pain sometimes when we experience it. So again, that's hopefully a useful little tool for you to have. Okay, let's do parting clouds, and we're going to cross the hands, bring them up in front of us, and then turn the palms, and then we're opening upwards and outwards and looking up slightly, and then the little finger edges are coming down, 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 just like before. See if you can drop the hands all the way down. I know mine are disappearing, but then up they pick. Try to alternate which hand ends up on the outside each time. That rib cage lift. Again, if it feels right for you, that it lends itself to an in-breath as you rise up, and then a long out-breath, letting go tension on the way down, and feel free to incorporate that into your movement or into your practice. Parting clouds. We can have a visualization of actually parting clouds and getting some blue sky and some clarity perhaps as we do so. Another important feature of Tai Chi movement is this active use of imagery or visualization. It's not something that you can see when you see someone practice Tai Chi or Qigong, but we have these visualizations going on, and sometimes there's a clue in the name, such as parting clouds. Another nice movement with a very clear clue to its intention is pushing waves. I like to picture myself actually in the sea, not around Britain at the moment, but maybe somewhere nice in the Mediterranean, somewhere like Greece or somewhere where the sea is still warm perhaps. And I bring my hands up and I just push a wave out. And then I pick the hands clear and draw them back. There can be a bit of a lean in with the body if you wish. If those of you who are standing up want to maybe have one leg forward, if you wish, you can do. So that you can have a bit of a push against gentle resistance. And then bringing the hands back. But if you can really picture in your mind's eye that every time you push, you place your hands into warm water, pick them clear, that might be a nice sensation. And you might want to maybe alternate which leg comes forward so that again, there's some alternation in weight shift. If I'm sat down like I am now, I can push one leg forwards a little bit. There's a bit of an emphasis. And then emphasize the other side. Just like so. I'm going to do one more push again. I'm not counting reps, sets as such. Again, we can save that for a different modality. So let's move on. Let's keep with our watery analogy somewhat, and we'll cast our cares away, but this could also involve splashing from one side and then to the other. This is my right arm, and I'm then splashing to the left and looking in that direction, and then picking up the left arm and doing the same to the right. So if that feels like a nice analogy to be splashing in warm Mediterranean water, enjoy. Or the alternative is that we are throwing an object like a ball, maybe from one side to the other. But with each cast of a hand and arm, we're casting our cares away at the same time. So you might have a bit of a list that you go through of all the things that actually you could just cast off. You could pick them up tomorrow, but for now, to get into the evening, we're casting our cares away. It's also a good shoulder mobilizer, especially if you've been working at a desk for a long period of time. We get a bit of a stretch through the shoulders as we do so. Okay, last side. Just like so. Okay, now that we do have our night skies, we'll finish with our familiar little two-sequence form of gather celestial energy and gather Earth's energy. And then we'll do a little breath awareness exercise, a kind of autumnal theme awareness exercise, which again, I hope you'll enjoy. So let's do our little sort of two-sequence Tai Chi form, gather celestial energy. If you're standing up, then hands hanging loosely by the side. If you sat down with me, you can, again, have hands hanging loosely or resting on your thighs or knees. I'll start with my hands hanging loosely. And we're simply bringing the hands up, palms down, and sliding them up towards the night sky overhead. And as we bring the hands down, we bring some stars down to earth with us. And then we gather those stars, hold them for a moment, but then we let them go. And this is where we take our imaginary blanket of the earth and wrap ourselves in it. Cozy, nurturing, all those nice qualities. But then we have to let that go as well. But in the letting go, we get to enjoy gathering some more stars as we go again up overhead. Sweeping the hands around to collect our stars, letting them go. This time we take our blanket and wrap And once again, we let that fall open too. This time we pick up the right hand and we place it over our heart. And the left hand comes onto the lower abdomen. Simple kind of tactile cues really to help us kind of maintain our place, so to speak. So our visualization for this kind of hand position is a woodland. And we might, if we were in spring and summer, be thinking of a green woodland, but now maybe we can think of an autumnal woodland setting and the sights, sounds and sensations that you would experience there. If you wish to close your eyes and really picture that scene, please do so. You could have a big breath in if you wish, and then let it go, and then just let the breath do its own thing. But really what we're focusing on is that autumnal woodland setting. Maybe sunshine, autumn colours, leaves falling. There's that particular autumnal smell in the air and a bit of a chill, but not too much. But we're feeling comfortable. And then we're going to take the top hand, bring it down off the rib cage onto the solar plexus. We can imagine that we've strolled out of a woodland. It is a sunny day and we've got that autumnal sunshine, blue skies. And just picture that sunshine and the warmth that you get from it. Not as hot as summer, but it's still there. And you can enjoy that warmth in the autumn air. And again, if you wish to visualize a scene, perhaps one that's familiar to you, so much the better. And just breathe in that scene. Sights, sounds, sensations that you might experience. And then final hand position to keep us on track is to just rest both hands on the lower abdomen, one on top of the other. And now we've come beside a still body of water. It could be beside a lake, a large pond, or you've made your way to the seaside. We've got the sunshine, the autumnal air, but now we've got all the reflections before us of that scene as well. And again, just picture yourself sitting, standing beside that still body of water, enjoying, again, all the sights and sounds and sensations that you can conjure to mind. Just breathe it all in. And then, again, after a little while, we need to part our hands. That's the cue to finish that exercise. I don't like to call it an exercise because it kind of confers the wrong kind of sense in many respects. But that kind of little visualization of 3 scenes. So I hope that sets you up for this evening and for a nice run into the weekend. And maybe we will get some autumn sunshine and you can get out and enjoy it. But for now, I'm going to say thank you so much for joining me. Enjoy the video. I'm going to stop the recording. If anyone wants to say anything at the end, questions or comments, I'm here. And if you just want to give me a wave, you can do so and just get yourself a hot toddy